The surprising response that I got has made me change my perspective on this issue of cooking for guys. Okay, but what if you try something? Guys are they are not necessarily the world's best expressive creatures. That's how you turn it into a date rather than a slave trip. Hi guys, welcome to the Mo Chunk Show. Hope you are doing great. Over a sit down chit chat video, I was having a conversation with a very good aunt of mine, and this kind of came up. We were talking about boys and dating, and I think I must have been mentioning things that, you know, annoy me in terms of how guys will try to approach you or try to woo you in a way. And one of the things I said to my aunt was, I really hate it when a guy says to me, so when are you gonna come and cook for me? I mean, it irritates my soul. Like, it cuts deep. Like, that's all you want me for? To cook for you? Really? Really? She let me land, she let me finish, and she gave me a very, very surprising response that I just said no. I know so many, we have this debate on Twitter every now and again, and I am very sure that so many girls have been in this same exact situation, and so many girls react in the same way that I do, that very irritated never. The surprising response that I got has made me change my perspective on this issue of cooking for guys. So I want to share that with you too, because I love you guys, give you some dating advice kind of thing. So let's get into it. Before you take on board what I am about to say, I'm probably gonna let out a disclaimer and say that this probably might not work for everybody, but there are those odd situations where you should say yes and give the guy a chance to prove himself. Okay, so a guy asks you to come and cook for him, and immediately you're offended. And my auntie was kind of like, well, why are you offended? Guys are they are not necessarily the world's best expressive creatures. Women, we are very expressive. We like to let you know, well, most of us anyway, let you know how we feel, when we feel it, and why we're feeling it. But guys, they like to do corner a lot. So you come and cook for me, that could actually be his way of saying, look, I enjoy your company, I enjoy your friendship, I would really like to spend some time with you alone, to get to know you more, to get to know what you like, what you dislike, what you're like when you're not amongst a crowd of people, for example. So that could actually be his way of saying, I'd like to spend some quality time with you. So my aunt was saying all this, and I was saying, okay, but what if he tries something? Because obviously I am celibate, and going to a guy's house is probably not the best for me. She just said that you need to be strong within yourself, and you need to be clear on what you want and what you don't want from a relationship. If a guy truly likes you, he will respect those wishes. I say this to girls all the time. He will respect those wishes. I mean, he might try, but it's also about your reaction. Are you the kind of girl that, although you are celibate, when a guy comes close to you or tries to be intimate with you, you kind of like, stop? Or are you the kind of girl that's like, look, I said no, and you put your foot down? And if you are that kind of girl, a guy is more likely to adhere to those instructions you have set from the start, if that makes sense. So another point that my aunt really brought out from this is that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Because we argue and debate a lot about what a first date should be, and my aunt kind of just made it clear to me that it's not what you do, it's not what kind of date you go on, it's how you do it and what you gain from it. Okay, now some guys might be watching this and saying, yes, 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 yes. Do not get fooled into falling into the hands of these Netflix and chill demons. That's not the same thing. We're talking about cooking here, okay? Which actually brings me on to my next point, which was the biggest thing for me was, what if he thinks I'm a slave? Like, what if he starts using me to be cooking for him, and then I just go da 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 da. She said, no, that's where you've got it wrong. There's a difference between slave, you coming and cooking for him whilst he's, I don't know, playing what games do boys play these days? PS4. Whilst he plays PS4 and you're just slaving away in the kitchen, and he even brings his boys over to come and have some. Or The worst one is you are cooking from your house, bringing it to his house, dropping it, and then going. That is being a slave, aka mugu, okay? Especially when you're not being paid for the service. There's a difference between that and coming to his house, maybe early in the morning. Okay, let's go shopping together. You decide together what is it that he wants you to cook for him that day. You go to the shops together. You pick out the ingredients, you know, he goes to grab, you tell him go grab some milk or go grab some tomatoes, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. He pays or you pay together. Paying is, I'm not addressing that one in this video, but you get what I'm saying. Come back from the supermarket. It's not that he goes and sits down, or it does not end there. You go to the kitchen together. He helps you in the kitchen. He helps you cut some onions, for example. If you're making jollof rice, he helps you blend the pepper. You know, that kind of, you know, stuff. Even when you're in the kitchen, you can put on some music. You guys can dance a little bit. He can come behind you. You can, you know, if you're into kissing in the kitchen, you can do all of that. You know, that's how you turn it into a date rather than a slave trip. You get? So that's the main thing. If you're going to take one thing from this very short, super quick video, is that when it comes to dating, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. There's a key difference. A lot of girls are hung up on the fact that they do not want to perform wifely duties without being the wife. But how do you become the wife without portraying yourself as somebody with wife qualities? And that's another thing. A lot of guys are very traditional and very down to earth, and not everybody is trying to I mean, there's many girls can behave nicely at a dinner table. Many girls can behave nicely after being taken out on a cinema date or whatever you people do these days. But how many girls can actually be humble? How many girls can actually showcase nice character when doing, I don't know, wifely duties like cleaning and cooking? Maybe he wants to see what kind of girl you are. Maybe it could actually be a test. Like, can you humble yourself enough to not maybe do the most glamorous things, but still showcase yourself to be a very graceful person and still have fun whilst doing it? This could actually be a time for you guys, because you're not out in the open. You know, sometimes dinner dates can be very awkward, cinema dates can be very awkward, but when you're just in the house, it's just two of you, that's when you can really be yourself. And like I said right at the start of the video, it varies, okay? I'm not suggesting that you've just met a guy on Twitter and you go to his house. You don't know, he could be a serial killer. I'm talking about in situations where, okay, there might be a guy in church and you know him very well. You guys have been friends for a little bit, and he's you know, saying that, okay, do you know what, we might want to move this beyond friendship. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody you've never met before. The first time you're meeting him, you go to his house. Please, we've watched too many movies where we know that is a bad idea. With everything, use discernment. With everything, use wisdom. Don't miss out on a genuinely nice guy because you're too busy saying, no, I'm not gonna cook for him, I'm not his slave, I'm not his wife. And guys, another thing I got from that conversation with my aunt was that, oh my god, if I went and told one of my girls this, that's, let's say Jim asked me to come and cook for him, they would have probably been saying the same thing. They are, number one, the same age as me. We have the same mentality. We are both as stupid as each other when it comes to dating. So they'll probably be saying, nah man, who does he think he is? Who does he think you are? Who does he take you for? You know, these are the things that stagnancy is not good. This is what makes people stagnate in the world of dating. Somebody who is wiser and older, they've been through it, they've got the ring, or are married, or are in a successful relationship. They are more likely to give you a perspective that you never expected, and that's why they are where they are. So guys, I really hope you grabbed something from this video, and let me know actually what non-conventional dates have you been in might have landed you the guy of your dreams. And also the flip side of this is maybe a guy took you out on a very good date but it still didn't go anywhere. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. Comment below and also subscribe to my channel for more. Until next time, peace and love, peace and chunks.